Hi, my name's Tracy Cornelius from Get Creative with Tracy, and I'd like to welcome you to my Stampin Studio, a series of videos where we're going to address some of the most common stamping issues, along with showing you some fantastic techniques that can take your stamping to the next level. So come on in, let's see what we can do. Today's video tutorial from the Stampin Studio is with regards to stamping out an image. I brought in two different types of stamps. We have our acrylic mounted stamp and we've also got a wood mounted stamp, and you'll see that I've done them in two different sizes as well. The reason for this is one of the questions that I get asked the most is why is it that some people take the ink pad to the stamp and others take the stamp to the ink pad. So I'm just going to explain to you what I do and why. So taking our ink pad first of all, if I'm using a smaller stamp, I will always take my stamp to the ink pad, and that's because when I go to ink it up, you can see that it's easily identifiable where I'm inking everything up. If I was to take the ink pad to my stamp, you can see that I'm obscuring my view. If you obscure the view, then your natural tendency is to tilt, and then that way you'd then be getting ink all around the edges. If I'm using a large stamp though, if I was to take my stamp to the ink pad, you can see that yet again I'm obscuring the view and I can't see the ink pad. So therefore, excuse me, I will lay my stamp flat on the surface and then I will take my ink pad to the stamp because I can see where I'm inking up. Okay, so with regards to inking up your stamp, there are a couple of things that we can do. So first off, because I'm using a smaller stamp, I'm going to be taking my stamp to my ink pad. First thing that I would do is make sure that I'm keeping flat, and then I'm just going to tap onto the ink pad. Now I'm just going to leave it there for a moment just so I can let you see. If I was to press down hard, can you see the distance between the rubber of the stamp and where you're meeting the phone? If I was to press down hard, then what I would be doing is getting ink all around the edges here. So therefore, when I go to tap onto the ink pad, I'm doing it really lightly, just so I ensure that I'm getting a light coverage, but that I'm not getting ink everywhere else. And all I do is then pick up the stamp, check it. If I need to re-ink it again, then I can do so. Okay, so once you've got the right amount of ink, and it should be glossy all the way around, then you can go to stamp out your image. Now this one is a little bit bubbly, so you will have to excuse that. When you go to put it onto your project, again make sure that your hand stays flat, and I tend to grip mine at either side, and then you're just going to go straight down and straight back up. There's no rocking, there's no real heavy motion or anything else like that, so this would be a much lighter application, but again, just show you, you're just going to go straight down, press down at the sides and in the middle with your finger, and then straight back up, and then you'll have a perfect crisp image every time. When I go to ink up the stamp and stamp it out for a larger stamp, as I mentioned before, this time I'd be taking my ink pad to my stamp and I'm just going to tap that around. Again, it's a really light pressure, not really pressing down very hard at all. If I've missed off any areas, I can just go back again, you know, I don't need to worry. Check the stamp again. As I mentioned before, it should be glossy all the way around. And then when I go to stamp out my image, I'm going to keep it flat again, pop it onto the work surface, and then if I'm doing a large one, I'll always make sure that I've got a centre amount of pressure, and then I can use my other hand just to go around and press down on the sides. Again, not having to press down really hard. If you need to swap hands, just to make sure again that you're putting a centre piece of pressure down, and that would just stop the stamp from rocking. And then again, just press down in the middle to make sure that you have done that, and then you push this, lift the stamp straight back up. And again, you can see that we've got a really crisp image. So thanks very much for watching. To order any of the products that you've seen or any of the other Stampin' Up products that we've got available, please visit my online store with the link below. Thanks very much then. Take care. Bye.